Dear students, across continents, across institutions, across cultures and across generations, we see a lot of alignment. We are aligned in recognizing the hospitality industry must change. But we are also aligned in recognizing the scale of the challenge before us. Resource depletion, systemic inequality, deep global division. We are not discussing small operational improvements. We are discussing the future viability of the very systems that sustain human life. And that duality, alignment and urgency defines the moment we are in. So while the scale of the challenge is undeniable, there is a shared direction that the hospitality industry must change. And that shared direction is not accidental, it's a signal of transformation. Community-centric tourism, moving beyond greenwashing toward measurable outcomes, ESG frameworks embedded into governance, circular thinking replacing linear extraction, sustainable spiritual tourism, local co-design and shared value creation. We are witnessing a hospitality shift from material luxury to meaningful transformation, from ownership to stewardship, from extraction to regeneration. And perhaps most importantly, these are not isolated. They are emerging globally. That alignment is promising. But hope alone is not strategy. And optimism alone doesn't neutralize reality. Because alongside these promising developments, the scale and urgency of what we are facing continues to intensify. Let us be clear. Earth Overshoot Day arrives earlier each year. Ways to export it from wealthy regions. Let us be clear. Earth Overshoot Day arrives earlier each year. Waste exported from wealthy regions to vulnerable communities. Let us be clear. Earth Overshoot Day arrives earlier each year. Waste is exported from wealthy regions to vulnerable communities. Inequality is widening, and perhaps most destabilizing of all, our societies are polarizing. Sustainability advocates are called naive idealists. Those who question climate urgency are labeled unethical. Dialogue is replaced by accusation, and so this is not only an ecological crisis, it is human. A crisis of fragmentation. So if the crisis is systemic, ecological, economic and human, then isolated good intentions will not be enough. Recycling more, flying less, consuming differently, important, yes, but insufficient. Systemic problems require systemic transformation. Individual responsibility matters. It matters morally, it matters symbolically, but systemic problems require systemic level change. And the system every one of you is part of is hospitality. Hospitality influences land use, energy systems, water consumption, labor markets, cultural identity, community prosperity. Historically, our industries have often been resource intensive. But what if it becomes regenerative? What if hospitality shifts from being a polluter to being a contributor? And here is where this becomes very personal for all of us. Because we are not observers of this system, we are participants in it. We are educators, researchers, professionals and students in hospitality. So what if the industry often criticized as resource intensive becomes a force for good and an engine for regeneration? Regenerative hospitality is not abstract, it is practical. It integrates the triple bottom line from the start. It embeds ESG into governance. It prioritizes local procurement. It co-designs with community. It empowers staff. It designs circularity into the architecture itself. It proves that profit and purpose don't need to be opposites. They can be mutually reinforcing. But here is the crucial point. Frameworks don't transform industries. People do. All of this could be possible. The frameworks exist. The technology and the business models are emerging. The financial logic could work, but none of it happens automatically. Because systems do not transform themselves, they are transformed by people. So who will lead this transformation? Governments will play a role, corporations will play a role, but the real answer is our current and future students. the future general managers, future entrepreneurs and future policymakers. You will inherit not only the opportunity, but also the complexity of a global industry, financial pressures, political division and cultural resistance. So the question for us as educators becomes very clear. Are we preparing our students only to understand sustainability or to actually lead it? We know what to teach. Critical thinking, ESG frameworks, circular business models, sustainable development goals, but knowledge and understanding alone does not create transformation, because transformation requires courage. It requires emotional intelligence. We must develop not only IQ, analytical intelligence, but also EQ, emotional intelligence, empathy, dialogue, cultural awareness, and AQ, adversity intelligence, resilience, courage, agility, the capacity to lead through resistance. Future change makers must not only know what to do, they must be strong enough to do it. If we accept that regenerative hospitality requires resilient, emotionally intelligent, courageous leaders, then our educational systems must reflect that reality. We cannot teach transformation through content alone. We must design transformation into our pedagogical approach itself. But how do we educate future change makers who give back more than they take? We should rethink education as a 360-degree leadership development journey. Knowledge and character, systems thinking and emotional maturity, business competencies and moral courage. Because regenerative hospitality requires regenerative leadership, and regenerative leadership requires whole person development. The hospitality industry can be a force for good and help regenerate the planet if we help to develop the future change makers our industry needs. Thank you.